Guys, today I'm going to tell you about my favorite games of this year. First, a disclaimer: I didn't play all games that were released on PC this year. The games on this list reflect, well, my opinion, since this is my channel, and they are in a particular order. That's Keep that in mind. And I will also tell you the performance I got out of my PC on these games. Some of these games are from before 2015, but they got released on PC on this year, so I keeping them into. So the first, number 10 would be Assassin's Creed Syndicate. I chose this one because I spent many hours playing it. It's like a way better version of Assassin's Creed Unity. There are less NPCs on screen and stuff like that, but it was a lot of fun because the fighting was way better. And there was a lot of leveling up and stuff like that. I mean, you can go to an area, like they are all level 8, you're level 5, and you get your ass kicked pretty easily. So combat is way harder than in previous Assassin's Creed games, and I appreciate that. And the fact that you can play as two different characters was pretty good. And the game runs way better than Unity. Runs at around 30 frames per second on a mix between medium and high settings on 1080p. It's mostly 30 frames per second, just like a console on a budget PC. Then number 9, it's Mortal Kombat X, the fighting game that everybody knows by now. I enjoyed it a lot. I played the single player, which was a little short, and play a lot of multiplayer with friends. Not online multiplayer, local multiplayer. The fatalities were way more brutal than usual. The graphics reflected that pretty easily, and I spent quite a lot of time playing it. It was very fun. It kept the game fresh because you have a lot of different towers to pick from and a lot of characters and many styles of combat between each character. On the video I'm showing right now, the game wasn't running very well because it was on release date. Now many patches after the game runs way more stable. There doesn't seem to be a memory leak anymore. So it should be around 60 frames per second on high settings on 1080p. So pretty good game. One of the best fighting games available at the moment on PC. Next, number 8, it's Zombie Army Trilogy, which is Sniper Elite V2 made into a zombie game, a cooperative zombie game for Nazi zombies. We have the three games bundled into one, and you have online co-op and just classic zombie horde mode with some story mode there. This trilogy was released this year, that's why I keep it at that 2015 game, and I have a lot of fun with it. I'm a fan of Sniper Elite, and I love zombie games too, so I enjoyed it quite a lot, and it's very challenging in higher difficulty levels. So yeah, it runs pretty well as you can see on the video, around 60 frames per second on high or ultra. If you overclock the GTX 1050 Ti, you can get 50 to 60 frames per second on 1080p, which is really awesome. And if you have friends, just play with them. The game is way better if you play cooperatively. And you can get it now on a Steam sale, on the winter sale, for $13, I think, and it's a pretty good deal. If you like sniper games and zombie horde games, this is the game for you. Then number 7 is Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin. This is a version of Dark Souls 2 released this year that includes all the DLC previously released, an update to DirectX 11 API, which means better graphics, and it also has different enemy placements and a lot of tweaks made to the game. So it's a very different game from the first one. It's way harder than the first one, in my opinion. And it's a pretty good game. I mean, I played Dark Souls 2 when it was first released on the PS3. This one is way better optimized than the first game. I mean, it runs at 60 frames per second on 1080p without any issue on the highest setting, and you can play it on 1440p at a mix between high and ultra, and you get 50 to 60 frames per second, which is pretty awesome if you have a big monitor. And I don't know, I really enjoyed it. It's one of my favorite games. Then for number 6, this game was released a couple years ago on console, but it's finally on PC. That's GTA 5, of course. I played it at 60 frames per second, and it's pretty awesome at that. Well, the quality levels are very similar to the consoles, and you can lower it a little and get 60 frames per second, or just play it at 30 with a little higher settings than consoles. And you know what GTA is. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's just 3 characters. Well, it's not just 3 characters. It's like the story takes place around 3 characters, and you can play at the 3 of them in a one mission or when you want, and each of them has their own lives. And GTA Online is a pretty complete multiplayer experience, as well as the single player. So there's a lot of fun to be had on GTA 5 on PC. Then number 5 is Fallout 4, uh, the game from Bethesda, where, well, there's been a nuclear fallout and you have to survive many years later on the wasteland. And it's a pretty complete game. It has a great story, and you can get a lot of hours into it. You have a big variety of weapons, you can make your own bases for and a lot of stuff. Is kinda insane. You can get 100 hours easy into this game, and you can even modify weapons, add scopes, silencers. You can play it your own way, and the game won't punish you because of it. You can just play it the way you want. It's pretty awesome, and it runs pretty well. You can get 60 frames per second if you play it on medium on a similar PC, or a similar PC to mine. So it's pretty good. I highly recommend it. Then number 4 is The Witcher 3. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, the game from CD Projekt Red. That's just one of the biggest RPGs of all time. There's a lot of content into this game. You can do a lot of stuff, and it's open world also, and you can go almost anywhere you want. And the graphics are fantastic. The game isn't running bad either. You can get 30 frames per second with most of the settings on high, and well, shadows, just keep them on medium and you'll be fine. And it runs at around 30 frames per second on 1080p, which is very acceptable. I mean, it runs better than the consoles, than the PS4, or you can just play it at 900p and it would run fine. The fighting is very solid, the story is awesome if you play the first 2 games. You can even import your save file from the previous games, so some of the things of the story will change, and that's pretty cool. Well, for number 3, it's Dying Light, from the creators of Dead Island, Techland. I mean, this game is pretty awesome too. It's like a mix of Mirror's Edge, Far Cry, and Dead Island. Just a very awesome game. I mean, it's open world too. The story is a bit cheesy, but the side missions, I mean, the side missions are better than the main story. That's pretty weird. But they're releasing now on February a new DLC that has a new map, vehicles, and a lot of stuff. And they will be also giving an update for free for all the Dying Light owners that makes a lot of tweaks to the game, a lot of fixes, and it will improve graphics. So I will be making a video on that edition, on that free update of graphics and tweaks. on February. So stay tuned for that. The game isn't running very well. It's all over the place mostly because you, I don't know, look to the right and you have like 70 frames per second, and look into a more dense area and you drop to 40. So it's better to cap it at 30 frames per second at the moment. But it's a pretty enjoyable game if you like zombies, and well, if you liked Dead Island, you'll love this one. And if you like the zombie genre, you will really love Dying Light. It has awesome parkour too, that's why I compared it with Mirror's Edge. And it's a pretty awesome game. Just if you like zombies, get it. For number 2 is Just Cause 3. Is one of the, well, I'm a Just Cause 2 fan, and I play Just Cause 3, and well, I really didn't even do the missions. I played 2 missions, then just started free roaming, taking settlements, destroying all the bases, and trying to get as much new cool stuff as possible. So that speaks a lot of the game. I mean, it's just fun to destroy stuff and do whatever you want in that world, like destroying cities, well, just fighting. The shooting is way more solid than Just Cause 2. Just Cause 2's shooting, and there are a lot of new improvements to the game, including the new grapple hook, and you have also a wingsuit, so you can fly like Superman around the map, and it's pretty cool and fluid. But the performance, it isn't that good. When stuff explodes all over the place, well, the frame rate tanks to 30. I mean, if you are like at 40 frames per second, you drop to 28 or 30, but it's pretty playable. I mean, I didn't have an issue playing that game. I felt very comfortable, and well, that's the second one. And then the first one that was my favorite game of 2015 or 2015 is Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. I played this game for, let me see on Steam. I played this game for 81 hours. After finishing it, I kept playing it, making a better base. I mean, it's just an awesome game. There's a lot of freedom into the world. You have many ways of taking bases and completing missions. You can go just shooting and killing everybody, or just going as ghosts and getting undetected, or just knock out everyone. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of ways of doing the missions. It's just insane, and the map is huge. You just have a lot of features that you can unlock just by playing the game, and you can unlock new weapons, new attachments, new suits. It's just crazy. And on early 2016, developers will release the multiplayer Metal Gear Online for PC. It's already available on console, but we'll have it on PC soon. And something very important to say, this game is an awesome port. I mean, it runs at 60 frames per second with most of stuff on high and some on extra on 1080p, and you have constant 60 frames per second without an issue. It's just insane for the graphical quality and graphical fidelity of this game, how well it runs. I'm sad because, well, Konami just killed the franchise, but I hope the Fox engine gets used more frequently. I mean, optimization like this on a Japanese game is not a normal thing. So that's it for my top 10 of this year. Those are the games that I enjoyed the most. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, dislike if you disliked the video, and give me your opinions in the comment section below. I would really like to hear what were your favorite games of this year. So bye and happy new year. Hope 2016 delivers awesome games, and thank you guys for supporting my channel. You are awesome. Thanks and bye.